Hey guys, today's video is a response to a video made by Whitney and Alex. Links in the down bar to both of their channels and the video I'm responding to in case it doesn't show up as a video response. The video was questions about book recommendations and stuff, so I got the lovely Sarah, who is my roommate and totally awesome, and made me food today. She made French fries, to be part of this because she reads a lot of things that I don't read. The first question on the list is, what are you currently reading now? Surprise, surprise, Alex and Whitney. I'm reading the second book in the Song of Fire and Ice series. So I am just ahead of Alex, but still really far behind. And I'm really loving it so far, and I'm definitely with the Starks.
I'm currently reading this book, and it's called My Sheep Listen to My Voice, and it's actually a religious book of sermons, and you can tell from how worn out it is that I've been working on it for a while.
The next question is, what's on your to-read list?
My to-read list is pretty much every book ever that I haven't read yet, because I want to read all of the books, but then I keep telling myself I need to write a book first, so my to-read list is quite long, but what I'm reading next is more books of sermons, either this one or this one. I'm not sure yet. I'll find out when I finish the first one.
Obviously on my to-read list is the rest of the Song of Fire and Ice series. And then after that, it's just this bookshelf that you see behind me. Except for the Harry Potter books, which I've already read, but I only brought books to Florida that I hadn't read. Question number 3 is, what genres do you prefer? Sci-fi and fantasy, almost exclusively. Sometimes I read historical fiction and alternate historical fiction I enjoy, but no nonfiction. Like the last nonfiction book I read was probably my econ textbook.
I am a big fan of every book. I like fantasy a lot. I like adventure. I like nonfiction. I love literary fiction. I'm a general liker of all genres.
Question number 4 is the must-have books in your library.
Books that I need to read soon, like Mallory did up there, and then Harry Potter, Pride and Prejudice, and other stuff.
The must-have books in my library have got to be the Harry Potter books, which I think that everybody should read, and then probably books by Neil Gaiman. I think that he's a really good author. And books by Garth Nix. Next question is 3 of your favorite authors.
John Green and Sally Slytherin aside, J.K. Rowling, Darren Shan, and Jane Austen.
My 3 authors are Lisa Jane Smith, Timothy Zahn, and Amelia Atwater Rhodes. The next question is your guilty pleasure books. I love supernatural romance novels, and I always have. And I read a ton of them, and there are a ton of them up on that shelf there.
I also have to jump on the vampire romance novel, romance novel boat words. Anyway, but I don't love all vampire romance. I like Twilight a lot. Okay, there we are. I like Twilight, and also I'm gonna say Cirque to Freak. And I say it's a guilty pleasure, not because it isn't like an awesome book, but because it's written for 13-year-old boys, and I read it like 2 years ago, so yeah, but I love it. Okay, yeah, that's all.
The next question is, what do you think about current trends in literature? And I don't feel qualified to answer this question, but I would say that I know that supernatural romance is going crazy and that people are like, get rid of it, but I also think that people read it, and I think that reading is a good thing, and so even if it's not necessarily what we would consider great literature, it can open the door to people reading great literature. In
popular literature right now, being fantasy and being vampires, I think that it's kind of a cop-out to not think of your own idea. Like if you're like, oh, everyone's really into vampire romance novels right now, I'm gonna write a vampire romance novel. I think that is just, I don't know, I think it's uncreative and not very original to do something that other people are doing because everyone's doing it and everyone wants to buy it. It just seems like you're doing it to make money because you know people will read it. And rant.
The final question is, what books would you recommend for you guys, Whitney and Alex, and everybody else who happens to be watching these?
For me, I know that both Alex and Whitney are big readers, of course, so I'm not really sure you guys haven't read, but if you've never read Emma by Jane Austen or Pride and Prejudice, read them. Especially, they're really good. And also, my guilty pleasure, Cirque du Freak by Darren Shan is incredible. It's incredible writing. It's like 13 books, but they're written for 13-year-old boys, so you can handle it. Anyway, those are really good, so read them too.
I would recommend the books by Timothy Zahn. I think he's an incredible author, and he does a really good job at developing worlds. And he has some really fantastic Star Wars novels. So if you're into Star Wars novels at all, read his. And if you're not really into Star Wars, he has a lot of other sort of sci-fi fantasy type of novels, and they are all really good. So I would really recommend Timothy Zahn. If you're watching this video, you have been tagged, and you can make a video response to answer these questions, and you can either make it here to Sarah and I, or on the original video for Alex and Whitney. And Veda's almost over, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.